Today we're going to talk about backyard foraging. I have seen a lot of things lately on Facebook about wild food and gathering your own food, so I thought today we'd just take a look in the backyard and see what we can eat. First thing though, I want you to know that in my backyard we don't use any fertilizers or pesticides. We don't treat the lawn in any way, basically because there is no lawn. Our yard is kind of like a mullet. It's business in the front where we have grass, and it's a party in the back for the insects. Okay, the first thing we're going to see here is we've got lots of little wild strawberries growing in the grass. I'm going to pick a few of these. They're mostly seeds, but I think they'd still be nice on top of a salad and give it a little bit of color. So I'm going to pick a few of these before the birds get them all. The next thing we're going to look for is we're going to look for broadleaf plantain. This is it here, with the wide leaves and these stalks. Now when they're nice and tender like this, you can just pinch them off, and if they do pinch, you know they're going to be good to eat. They're not going to be too tough. So we're going to gather some of those and we're going to fry them up, some garlic and some butter, I think. And then we've got clover. When you're getting the clover, you want nice young clover flowers. Ones that like this and like this, they're too far gone. So we want nice little ones that are just starting and have a little bit of pink on them. And we'll put those on top of our salad as well. And then the next thing we're going to get is some dandelions, and we've got lots of those. And then a few dandelion leaves as well. So I brought everything inside and I put it in the sink with some cold water, and now I've just got it drying on a tea towel. Got my dandelions here, our little wild strawberries, a few little white clover flowers, the seed pods from the broadleaf plantain, then some herbs I had growing on my deck. There's some cilantro with some flowers, some tarragon, some thyme flowers, some lemon balm, some fresh basil, and a few lettuces I had growing in a window box. So we're going to let this dry a little bit, then we're going to make a salad. So in the bowl I've chopped up our lettuces and some of the herbs, and what I have here is the dandelions. So we're going to cut them in ribbons. Fancy word for it is chiffonade, but basically you're cutting them into thin strips. The dandelions can sometimes be tough, they can sometimes be a little bit bitter, but that's okay in a salad. But if you slice them into the thin ribbons, it makes it much nicer to eat. So we're going to chop these up and add them to our bowl. So you just cut right across and add them to your salad. And now we're going to make a warm dressing for the salad. Okay, I've got 3 tablespoons of olive oil in this little saute pan with about half a teaspoon of garlic. I started it cold because I didn't want it to burn, and we're on medium heat. Now I'm going to add in our little plantain buds here, and we're going to saute those for a few minutes. We don't need very long. This will just soften them up a little bit. And now for the rest of the dressing, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of white balsamic vinegar. You can buy this in the grocery store. It's not terribly fancy anymore. And I'm just going to give this a little taste, see if it needs any more sweetness or more sourness. I'm going to add just about a teaspoon of maple syrup to that. You can also add a little bit of honey if you wanted, if you think it's a little bit too sharp. That's nice. Okay, so we're going to add this to our salad, and then we'll be ready to eat. Now we're ready to finish our salad. First I'm going to season it with some flaky sea salt. You could use kosher salt if you have that. I like the flake salt for something like this. And then we're going to add a little bit of texture. Here I've got some dried cranberries and some sunflower seeds. That will give us a little bit of crunch. And then we're going to add our warm dressing with our plantain buds, and that will wilt the salad a little bit. We're going to give that a toss to make sure everything's all nice and mixed. And then at the end, we're going to garnish it with our flowers. I've got some cilantro flowers, some thyme flowers, some pieces of some fresh tarragon, our white clover, and our little wild strawberries. And that's our backyard salad. So if you're interested in learning more about foraging, there are lots of great books you can get, and there are thousands and thousands of YouTube videos that you can watch. 3 that I have in my library are Edible Wild Plants, Native Harvests, and backyard foraging. You go to my blog, www.lauralenson.com. I have links there if I can find them. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.